Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, the Polish tech tree is here. We've had a look at the 60 TP. Now we're going to have a look at the 50 TP. Now we're going to compare this to the 50 TP prototype. And when the 50 TP prototype got into the game with the clan event, I actually said in the video it's not too bad if you don't get the tank, because the 50 TP tech tree version will be there soon, and it will probably be better than the prototype. And to be honest, I was correct in that. It is better, much better in my opinion. There's things going for it that the 50 TP prototype hasn't got, and we will get to that very soon. So it's a nice line, to be honest. I enjoyed this line. Apparently the tier 8 is very good, which we will be reviewing soon. DPM wise on the tech tree version, I'm not even going to pronounce that 50 TP tie, whatever it is ever so slightly less than the prototype. I mean, there's nothing really in it. The penetration is better at 250 millimeters, so not bad at all. And it has more alpha. It has 460 alpha rather than the 440 the prototype has. Rate of fire, again, the reload is like not even half a second. It's around half a second left, which is nothing really. It is a 130 millimeter gun, and the prototype is the 122. Shell velocity is less on that tank than the prototype. Aim time is exactly the same, dispersion is exactly the same, and both tanks have 8 degrees of gun depression. Now, the only downfall with this tank, it is a lot slower, in my opinion, than, a lot slower than the prototype at 36 kilometers per hour, and the prototype is 48, so that's not bad speed for the prototype there. Armor profile, it has 250 on your turret, which isn't bad at all. The prototype has 270. Now, the sides of the turret is a little bit better at 160, and the hull is much better at 120. Now, the prototype only has 80 millimeters, which means there's only really one way you can play that tank, and that is hull down. So this is exactly the same really, but when you are hull down, if you raise your hull a little bit or your angle, then that 120 millimeter effective will be much more. The effective armor will be much more on that, so you will be able to get some bounces. So we're going to go and have a look at a couple of games, one on each tank, just to see how both compare with each other. Now, where I say the 50 TP is better than the prototype, there is things going for it that the prototype just hasn't got. Now, again, the prototype is a great tank. I once said that it was okay, but you know what? It's actually a very good tank. In ratings, I've been using it in ratings, same as a lot of people. And where I was saying, because of the event, you're going to have so many people playing it, every single battle you see a 50 TP prototype now. So yeah, for a free tank, I mean, it is a very good tank for the price that you're not paying, because you're not paying for it. However, the 50 TP on the tech tree is, even though it's a tech tree version, I still think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And what makes it a lot better than the prototype is that it has the tungsten shells also, just like the 60 TP and just like the tier 8 version, whereas the 50 TP prototype doesn't have that. I would have liked to have seen it have that, the same as the other two, but for me it's just like, what's the point playing the prototype now when you can play the tech tree version that has the tungsten shells? Not only has it more alpha, it also has them shells where you could do more damage per shot. So yeah, I mean, both tanks are very good, and I like I said, I still agree with it. If you didn't get the prototype, then it doesn't really matter too much. I know that there's people out there that want every tank in the game at the collector reasons, but yeah, just go and play the 50 TP in the tech tree, and it is an all-round better tank. Yes, okay, the turret is not as strong, but the hull is stronger, and you will actually get bounces in that thing. These are very good tanks. I mean, the 50 TP, the tech tree, is I think it's great. And I was having games out there the other day with the 60 TP where there was 2 60 TPs on each team and there were 2 50 TPs on each team. And yeah, it's kind of hard to play at the moment, but that will settle down. That will settle down. People always do this when there's a new update with new tank, with a new line. People just go and play the new line. And with the amount of free XP people's got at the moment, they are able to get sort of the tier 8, the 9, and mostly the tier 10 as well with the free XP that they've got. So the gun on both tanks is very troll. I mean, I've missed a few shots there, which was just like, really? Like, should I be missing that? Some of it's me. Some of it is me. That's just being a noob. I mean, this next shot that I'm going to have on this 53 TP, which is the tier 8 version, is just stupid. I mean, this shot here, I'm aiming, and it just donks in front of it. I mean, that, for me, should have hit. That should have hit. This next shot maybe is my fault. Again, I'm just going to donk the shot. I'm going to go up here. You can see me aiming, and I managed to hit the freaking... I've got the whole tank to aim, and I managed to hit the bit where I can't penetrate. So, yeah, GG Meadsy. So I did actually lose quite a bit of damage here because of that reason. I could have paid a bit more attention, have a bit more time, and I would have probably definitely got one more shot on. But I would have probably killed him by now, and I would have finished with almost 4k damage. So yeah, the 50 TP prototype, still a great tank out there. Unfortunately, it won't be around for some time now. Maybe they'll bring it back in another clan event. Who knows? But next up, we are going to have a look at the 50 TP tie, blah blah blah, however you call it. And like I said, definitely worth the grind. It 100% is definitely worth the grind because it's a nice tank. Yes, the speed is slightly less than the 50 TP prototype, but you know, it's not too bad. It's still quite quick for what it is on a straight line. It is still quite quick, and of course it does have the tungsten shells as well. The new, some people may call them overpowered, but it really does help. And I've been hitting, even without that, to be honest, I've been hitting really sort of high rolls with this tank, which we're going to have a couple of high rolls here without using the tungsten shells. Now, as I said in my 60 TP video, only use the tungsten shells when you know you've got at least one clear shot on the enemy team. Now, I'm not actually using it here on the VK168 because I've only got the turret or the hatch to aim at. And with a gun like this, I wasn't really... I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't really want to waste it. So I'm just going to use it when I need it, and I didn't really need it. I've done a couple of high rolls there, 488 and then a 499 I think I did. So yeah, it's quite a high roll anyway. So we are now going to poke down because we know that the left should be clear. The TDs are on sort of the right side, so I know that the left is clear. So I just want to sort of isolate these guys from this side. We know that there's a 53 TP here, and we know that there is a Pagetto. So this is where I'm going to use my tungsten shells, because I know I've got a clear shot on this Pagetto. And again, we do a 5-3-3 roll, which is pretty solid if you ask me. And I'm also going to be able to get the next shot out on this T54, because thankfully he comes down, and again, 508 I think it was there. So again, it was a pretty nice roll. So yeah, it's definitely worth grinding. If you guys are thinking about what line to grind next, I mean, there's loads of lines out there that's decent. Would I call this the best line? Probably not. No, it's not the best line to grind, but all the tanks I haven't played the sort of the tier 6 and upwards yet, but apparently the 50 TP, I mean, you can see the angle there. When he's looking down, the armor is nothing, but when you're sort of looking up in a hold down position, the armor on the 53 TP is insane, absolutely insane. As you can just see here, if he's looking at you in that kind of position, then there's nothing you can really do. And again, I donk my shot. I'm trying to aim at the bottom plate and I just donk my shot. So we are going to just pay attention here. We're looking sort of to the right. I don't want to just go out. I was hoping to get some easy shots here. We do get shot from the Object 704, but we give him one back, a nice one back, and he's now a one shot. And then we're just going to wait for this 53 TP to back up. We don't want to get shot. And again, the next shell, I'm just going to donk again, yet again. But you know what? I'm going to start pushing forward now because it is a 5 versus 2. So they are all pushing sort of the middle here with the 53 TP. So I'm able to get around, but I'm not able to get the kill, unfortunately. So decent tanks, definitely worth the grind. Not the best lines. Use the tungsten shells only when you know you can use them, and yeah, you perform well. Go in a hold down position as much as you possibly can with these tanks. So in my opinion, the 50 TP prototype is slightly worse. So yeah, there we have it. And it's nice to see a tech tree version is better than a premium. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy. Catch you soon. Bye bye. With